Welcome back to another explainer. Okay, today we're unpacking a financial strategy that honestly sounds almost too good to be true, but I promise you it's 100% grounded in the tax code. We're looking at building a tax-free wealth fortress. If you've ever wanted to discover a completely legitimate, totally legal strategy to essentially erase lifetime capital gains taxes for your heirs, well, you are in the exact right place. We're going to look closely at the numbers today, break down the rules, and make this incredibly complex topic super simple and actionable. So let's just jump right in. Ever wonder how the wealthiest families pass on literally millions in stocks without paying a single dime in capital gains tax? I mean, really think about that for a second. You and we usually deal with what you might call a success tax, right? You earn $1, you pay a tax. You make a profit, you pay a tax. It's just the standard path. But the ultra-wealthy, they seem to have an entirely different rulebook that lets them preserve their legacy completely intact. Okay, let's dive into this. Part 1. The Billionaire's Reset. Legally erasing capital gains. Now, what we're talking about here isn't some, shady offshore bank account hidden on a remote island. It is a completely legal, well-documented framework known as the step-up in basis. Let me just put my teacher hat on for a second so we can break this definition down, because understanding this single sentence is the absolute foundation of everything we're discussing today. A step-up in basis is a legal tax rule. Basically, what it does is reset the cost basis, which is just the original value of an asset for tax purposes, of an inherited asset to its current market price right at the time of inheritance. By doing this, it effectively wipes out all the prior capital gains that built up over the original owner's lifetime. Our source really hits the nail on the head here. They say, while most people pay a success tax on every dollar they earn, the rich use this to reset their tax bill to zero. We're all just so conditioned to accept this success tax on our hard-earned gains, aren't we? But by understanding this step-up rule, we can see exactly how the wealthiest families flip the script entirely. They aren't evading taxes, they're simply resetting the bill to zero, using the rules exactly as they're written in the code. Moving right along to Part 2. Skipping economic theater. The math behind the wealth. To really wrap our heads around this without getting totally lost in the weeds, we're drawing directly from the insights of a CPA named Brian, who runs the Hidden Tax channel. His whole philosophy is about skipping the economic theater. And what does he mean by that? He means dropping the confusing financial jargon, all the smoke and mirrors, and the overly complicated theories that make everyday people just tune out. Instead, we're focusing on the exact math to legitimately nickel and dime the system. It's about knowing the rulebook so intimately that you keep your family's money securely in your own hands instead of needlessly handing it over to the IRS. And this brilliantly illustrates our next section, Part 3, the $100 stock secret, selling now versus passing it on. So this is where the theory hits reality. It's literally a fork in the road for your wealth. On one hand, you've got the default choice, selling stocks now. When you do this, you immediately trigger a tax on all the gains you've made over the years. But on the other hand, we have the alternative, passing stocks to heirs. This path intentionally avoids that hidden tax completely through the step-up in basis rule we defined earlier. The choice between these two distinct paths, it drastically impacts your family's final bottom line. Let's actually walk through the lifespan of an asset, step by step, exactly how Brian lays it out. Step 1, you buy a stock for $10. Pretty simple. Let's say you hold on to it for decades. Step 2, that stock grows significantly and is now worth $100. Now, step 3 is where the absolute magic happens. You pass away and leave it to your heirs. Because of the step-up rule, your heirs inherit that stock not at your original $10 basis, but at the new current market price, the $100 basis. Step 4, your heirs decide to sell that stock immediately. To really grasp how powerful that timeline is, let's rewind and look at the alternative. Say you decide to sell that exact same stock while you are still alive. Bam! You are immediately hit with that success tax we talked about. Because you bought it at $10 and sold it at $100, you have an artificial gain. You've got to pay capital gains tax on that entire $90 of profit. That's a really significant chunk of change, leaving your family's net worth and going straight to the government. But because you used the step-up strategy and passed it on to your heirs, what's their federal tax bill when they turn around and sell it for $100 immediately after inheriting it at a $100 stepped-up basis? Zero. Exactly $0. No way, right? But it's true. The $90 of growth that happened during your lifetime is completely legally wiped out for tax purposes. They pay absolutely nothing on it. I mean, that is incredibly powerful math right there. So the crucial point is right here in Part 4. building a tax-free fortress, protecting your legacy.
You see, understanding this rule isn't just about playing clever math games. It's about real-world security for your family. The message from our CPA source is super urgent. Stop letting hidden taxes and inflation drain your family's future wealth. When you combine the erosive power of inflation over time with the massive bite of capital gains taxes, a legacy can be slowly, quietly drained away before it ever actually benefits the next generation. Leveraging the step-up in basis, that's your legitimate shield against that continuous drain.
It really boils down to 3 simple things. First, trust the exact math. We just saw the undeniable difference between paying taxes on $90 versus $0. Second, stay disciplined. It can be incredibly tempting to just cash out assets while you're alive, but discipline secures that step up for your heirs. And third, actively build your tax-free fortress by keeping these rules working in your favor. Which brings us to our final big question for this explainer. Are you going to let hidden taxes slowly drain your legacy, or will you use the exact math to build a tax-free fortress? It is a stark choice between paying the typical success tax and utilizing the billionaire's reset. Keep focusing on the math, protect your wealth, and we'll see you in the next explainer.